What are the key challenges organizations face when they actually transition to a SASE architecture? And also, how can a technology services provider like Axians address these challenges effectively?
The challenges that customers can face can go back the whole way to how they build their business case. If you look at the SD-WAN component of this, the network piece, people have been doing MPLS, which is a traditional model, for years and years and years and years and years. It's a fairly easy thing to say, I'm renewing this, I want more speed, less cost. That's the typical metrics when you go forwards. Going from MPLS to SD-WAN is a total new technology. So that's a fairly big step for the first time. So you've got to convince your board that's a good idea and the reasons why. Sometimes you might have that ammunition yourself. Sometimes you reach out to the market, reach out to the vendors, talk to the analysts, who can all tell you how much it's a good idea. But you still need to have that ability to reassure your board that they're making the right decision. We can help with that. So Axians can help with everything from actually at the point of building a business case and underpin with the experience we've got and the referenceability, and we can reference the number of customers and different deployment models and different technologies, and in effect de-risk that for that customer. So the first part is how they de-risk the initial kind of step into the unknown. The same with going from a physical security infrastructure to cloud one. Some people like seeing a box with a little flashy light and it gives them a warm fuzzy feeling inside. Saying we're taking that security box that's there that does stuff that you know it does stuff, and we're going to throw that away and we're going to move stuff to the cloud which you can't see, you can't touch, and you can't see a little flashing light. There's a lot of trust based there. You know, I can sit here and go yeah, and it's a bit emperor's clothes, right? I'm working on my laptop, I've built policies, it's all done, you're secured. They've seen nothing, there's nothing tangible to touch. So that is a big trust piece as well. So part of it is just helping them get over those initial hurdles. You've then got to try and understand what you have currently, what doesn't work, what you're trying to achieve, what you want to work, and things that you need it to do moving forward so that your strategic mapping from your CIO or your CTO can blend into how you build and design the solution. And again, we've got a lot of experience in building SD-WAN and cloud security platforms and services. We've been doing it since kind of 2015. We've had managed services since 2017. So we know how to do this to de-risk it. We also know how to build the services so that they map into what you're trying to achieve. So fundamentally, from a customer's perspective, the challenges they can have are the initial sort of how do I kind of take that first step forward and convince my board. Then it's about understanding and finding someone that you trust to help you de-risk the overall solution. But then from a more kind of pointy technical perspective, you've got to understand SD-WAN is policy driven, cloud security is policy driven. So it's about sitting down with them, understanding what they're trying to do, strip it back to what do you do as a business, what services do you use, what applications do you use, where are they hosted? Who accesses those? Do they need to? What security challenges have you got that you've experienced? What ones are you aware of? What ones are you on your CISO's mind of? Here's my tick list of things I really, really want this to do now. How many of those are essential? How many of those are maybe a phase 2? Do we do it as a full, you're now on cloud security, or do we migrate as a slow phased approach? All of these things about how you translate your current infrastructure and what works and what doesn't work into, in effect, next generation network and next generation security, they're not insignificant challenges. And we've got a lot of experience at doing exactly those migrations. So we can sit and work through step by step, everything from here's the networking policies, here's the sort of things we can allow you to do. Oh, I want it to do this. We've found we can do that this way. I've got users in really challenging locations like, for example, China. We've done that. We've worked with a number of customers in there. We know what build and architectural models you have to put in place to be compliant with local restrictions. I think it's leveraging the experience that we've got in having done this. We've got the badge. We've had all the pain and misery. We've learned from it all, so you don't have to as a user. And it's about helping you to walk through from, could be as early as business case, it could be, I've got an RFP, help me. And in fact, we've actually got to the point where we work with a number of customers who have chosen and deployed SD-WAN, not doing what they say they want it to do. It's not delivered on the promises they were told they would get and the benefits they would get. And we can come in at that point and we can help them to re-architect it and to optimize it to make sure it maps to what they're trying to do. So fundamentally, it's experience. It's experience and skills and having, in effect, hit all the walls and pain points before to mitigate those and remove those so that we can be as seamless as possible with our customers. and hold their hand every single step of the way, knowing that we know the individual intricacies and idiosyncrasies of the different platforms and how they work and how to get the best out of those for those customers. We got one customer whose network operations is in Barcelona and their security operations in architecture are in London. We had an even better one, which was a global car company. Their networking team was in Colombia and their security team were in the Philippines. And we introduced them to each other. So the first 20 minutes of the meeting, I was helping them introduce themselves to each other. So sometimes this move to combined solutions and moving the teams together is going to be really beneficial because you're going to leverage the skills on both sides and you're going to be bringing your company closer together. So all of the engineering glue that holds the whole place in peace is going to be a glue. The example I give is it's 2 stacks of Lego. You can build a fantastic Lego model there and you can build a fantastic Lego model there. But the best one's when you kind of shove them both together and make a huge model. You've got a kind of a force multiplier and you can use all the bricks in a different way and then you can achieve far more than 2 little models to the side. And a lot of it is businesses realising that there are silos, trying to reduce those silos because the silos are stopping them from being innovative. And a lot of businesses now are looking at technology as a way of them getting that extra kind of edge on their competition. Businesses are trying to find any small facet of the smallest area of their organisation that if they can tweak it and get a 0.5% gain on the competition, that has real monetary benefit. That's real material kind of improvement in terms of it could be a revenue, it could be reputational because they're seen as the number one in that market. When you're trying to appeal to your end customers, some of these cachet points are really, really significantly important. The revenue's nice, but fundamentally, if you can be the number one in your area, people love that. That's reputation just goes through the roof. So technology is seen as a driver for a lot of this, and part of the way you adopt the technology is you try and make it so that you're removing all the internal walls that are stopping things from happening as much as bringing in new technology.